Hello, I'm Vivienne McGrath from viviennemcgrath.com, and in this video I want to talk about mirroring, the manipulative tactic that narcissists use, particularly when they first meet you, as a way to test whether you are somebody that they can manipulate and use as a source of supply. I'll go more into that in detail, and I'll also talk about the signs of what to look out for and how you can not fall into their trap. When you first meet a narcissist, they are absolutely the most incredible arch manipulators. In fact, before they've met you, or in the first minutes of meeting you, they study you. They really observe you, and they study you. And they see very quickly, they read very quickly who you are, what your passions are, loves are, what excites you, what makes you feel good about yourself. And then they morph into that person and put this mask on and mirror your desires and your dreams and your hopes and your beliefs back to you. And you think, wow, this person's amazing. I've never met anybody like them. I thought when I first met my ex, he's the one. You know, that gut feeling, you can't explain it. The butterflies in my stomach, the gut feeling, the connection was so deep and so rapid. And I didn't realize that I was just a complete victim at that time of him mirroring everything I dreamed of, the fantasy man I was looking for, back to me. I'll rewind a little. You know, narcissists, they lack a form of empathy. They have obviously the basic impulses that we all have, the basic emotions and feelings that we all have, you know, fear, anger, you know, those basic impulses. But they lack the sophisticated feelings, that rational side that most people have. For example, if they're angry, most of us can temper that anger with the rational adult logic side of us that says that base impulse, it's not great to let that base impulse get out of control. So they don't have these feelings, or sadness, like we can see a disaster on television and feel empathy and sadness. We feel those other people's pain. They can't feel these feelings, what is known as emotional empathy. But they can see it in other people. They can read it in other people. In fact, they're really brilliant at reading those feelings in other people. And because they can't feel them themselves, they have to mimic them. They mimic that they can feel those feelings. And they're very good at acting that they have those feelings. And therefore they know how to put on a mask so that you think that they are feeling those. So for example, when you first meet a narcissist and you express feelings towards things, opinions about things, love of certain food, music, whatever, they will mimic that, and suddenly they will talk like you do, love the same things that you do, feel the same passions and beliefs about the things that you do. And they're mirroring what they've read and observed and studied about you, those feelings that are important to you, and they just mirror them back to you. So essentially what's happening when they're love bombing you in the beginning is you're falling in love with yourself. I know that sounds weird, but you are falling in love with a mirrored version of you. And that's why it just feels amazing, feels so right, and feels so good. And they will keep doing that as long as it takes to hook you in and really entangle you into the relationship. You know, they love bomb you and keep making you feel amazing about yourself, and they keep acting the part of the perfect partner, as long as it takes for you to be really enmeshed in that relationship. And if you at any point are still questioning their bad behavior when they let that mask slip for a second, which they do at the start, then woof, the mask will come back up again. And they will keep that mask on until they know that they really, really have you. Now, if you were somebody that immediately sees through them and goes, that behavior is unacceptable, and start to put boundaries in place, well, they'll probably disappear, because they can see that you are somebody that they can't manipulate. They don't want someone that they can't manipulate. They need someone that they can manipulate so that they can use you as a source of supply. So if they mirror to you and you don't question when that mask slips, eventually they enmesh you into this relationship and you think, wow, this is fantastic, and then bam, the mask will slip. And what I mean by supply is they want to find someone who will be a supply of things that make them feel great about themselves, because they don't inherently feel good about themselves inside. Although they might, have this grandiose sense of importance and ego and all that, and big note themselves, actually they're deeply insecure. So they look to you for things like status, wealth. Do you have an apartment that they can quickly move into? Do you have money that they can get you to give them, because they give you this hard luck story that, oh God, I'm falling on hard times, I've had a rough time, I do have money, I just can't access it at the moment, I'll pay you it all back, that sort of stuff. You might be really attractive and look good on their arm when they go out, and give them that social status, So, but they can't keep up that mask for very long, because as I said, they don't have the ability to really feel these feelings. They're acting the part, and they will compulsively lie to you, and they can't remember all the lies they tell. So the mirroring at some point will stop, and then you will keep looking for that person. You'll keep thinking, where's that person gone? I want that person back. And they'll start to blame you for that mirror shattering. Well, I'm only like this because you're behaving like this. I did that, I lost my temper because you provoked me. That sort of thing. You'll be to blame for that mirror suddenly shattering. But you're not. And what you need to understand is you need to see them not as that fantasy, not as that mirror that they've dream perfect person that they've reflected back to you. When they start to show you the real them and that abusive behavior, that unacceptable behavior, whether this is a relationship, a family member, a boss at work, this could be any person who puts out that mask and mirrors at you and then lets that mask fall. See them for who they really are. Don't be fooled by a mirror that actually is a reflection of you, your hopes, dreams, and desires. If they cannot fulfill those hopes, dreams, and desires, if they are not somebody who is aligned to who you truly are in your goals, your passions, your beliefs, your core values, then let them go. Don't cling on to a fantasy of somebody that they really aren't. Don't waste your energy and time changing everything externally to try and fix something that's not working and to try and get that fantasy back. It's a fantasy. It's just a reflection. It's an illusion. They are illusionists. They are the ultimate actors, illusionists, They're Dr. Jekyll and Mr. or Miss Hyde. So understand what mirroring is. And if you're not in a relationship and you're first dating, please bear mirroring in mind. And even if you're in the workplace, and because it's a sales technique, it's a brilliant marketing technique, this mirroring to somebody you want to sell something to, making them think, oh, your product or service is everything that's going to fulfill their desires and dreams and whatever. Understand the manipulative tactics of mirroring. And if you go on that first date, or if you are going to buy a product or whatever, don't listen to what they say. All that, talk. If it's too good to be true, if it's too much too soon and too amazing too soon, sorry, then it probably is. If something is just too good to be true, then it is too good to be true. Instead, look at your date or whatever you want to buy or whatever. Really look at it and just look at them. Say, are they nice? Are they somebody that's respectful to me? Are they respectful to the staff in this restaurant we're sitting at? Are they funny? Do they have the same sense of humor? Do they believe in the same things about politics as I do? Almost treat it like a job interview. What are those core values that you have? And instead of listening to all those dream things that they mirror to you of some fantasy, have your own checklist of the things that are your values, and instead of projecting onto them some fantasy of what you dream and hope might one day be, judge them against your core values and beliefs and tick those off. Do they live up to those core values of yours and beliefs or not? And if they don't, well, don't see it as a reflection of you, that date didn't work out. That's nothing less of you. You just know, well, they're not good enough for you, and go on to find somebody else who is. So I hope that makes sense of mirroring. It's a very, very manipulative tactic. So really understand it and see it for what it is. And don't fall in love with a fantasy that really is falling in love with a fantasy that's really a mirror of you. And if you're in a relationship that's broken down, don't stay too long when that fantasy has shattered. Don't keep clinging on to the belief that it's going to one day come back, because it won't. You have the power to choose who you want in your life, what you want in your life, and how you want your life to be. So don't look externally for things to make you happy. Understand and find happiness within, and then go out and seek others that match your core values, beliefs and goals, and align with them, and together you'll find even greater happiness. I hope that's helped. If it has, please click the like button, subscribe and share, and always give me your feedback and tell me what you want to hear in my next video. I look forward to seeing you there.